What's up guys, ACCardShark here. I'm going to do my first collection video, my NES collection. As you can see, I've got a pretty decent collection going on. It's all mainly from when I was a kid and just some pickups here and there, but this may be in a couple parts. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get through this, so let's get started here. First game is Burger Time. It was always a pretty fun time. I don't know, it's just your typical like climb up and down ladders and make burgers and stuff, and it's always pretty fun. Number 2, we have Wheel of Fortune. I was always a big fan of this game when I was a kid, but until it got really repetitive, and then everyone thought I was really smart because I kept getting the puzzles right, but it was a pretty good time. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. This game is, it's alright. Where in the World was the best one, but it was alright. I remember having that one as a little kid. Next game up is Star Tropics. This game was actually really tough. I never actually beat this game, and it's I don't know, it's really tough. It's a great game. I definitely recommend playing it if anyone ever has a chance, but it's definitely a hard game. Next one up, Q*bert. Pretty straightforward, you know, you guys know that from the arcades. Let's see, Double Dragon 2. Again, classic. Everyone pretty much knows what that one is. Next one up, apparently I really like this game. This is Wheel of Fortune. This is actually the one I had as a little kid. I don't know why I have the one with Vanna White on it, but yeah, this is the one I had from when I was a little kid. Let's see, we have Double Dribble. Pretty standard basketball game, and pretty crappy, but classic nonetheless. Good time. Next one up, Jaws. Pretty appropriate for ACCardShark to have Jaws, but this game is actually really a lot of fun. I remember going out in the boats and shooting the sharks and everything, and it was just such a good time. Next one up is Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants. Again, good time, a lot of fun. I never really beat it, I don't think, but it's just fun to sit down and do a pickup game. Pinball, pretty straightforward. It's just straight up pinball. Tiger Haley, I don't know how you say that, but actually this was my brother-in-law's game, and he just kind of gave me some of his old games, and I never have played this yet, and I'm gonna have to bust that out at some point. Same thing with this game, Solstice. Never played it before, but it was my brother-in-law's. He gave it to me because he knew I was still collecting and playing these games. The next one up is Pro Wrestling. Pretty much the same as pinball. It was that generic series they came out with for the NES back in the day. It's pretty generic. It's just pro wrestling. That's about it. Next one up, classic Castlevania. To me, the best one they ever put out. I absolutely adore this game. But yeah, it's Castlevania, guys. I mean, it's nothing much more to say about that. Mario 2, same thing. Nothing new or exciting about that. Ice hockey. Pretty generic, pretty fun though. Actually, I used to love getting in fights in this game. It was so much fun. It looked like they were just trying to like hump each other or something. But it was definitely a good time. Ice hockey. Definitely pick that up if you have a chance. Kung Fu Heroes. Great game. Definitely a lot of fun. You should pick that one up too if you have a chance. My favorite of all time, Kung Fu. Kung Fu. I know, guys. I know people have been questioning me on this choice of my top 10. But this is absolutely just one of my favorite games of all time. I actually think I have 2 copies. If anyone wants to trade for it, I'll be willing to part for it. You know, if you guys have something good to trade for it. Mega Man 2, classic. It's the only Mega Man I actually own. I think 2 is the best one, the only one that is really not worth playing. I shouldn't say that, but it's just my favorite one of all the Mega Mans. Legend of Zelda, Gold Cart. Believe it or not, I've never beaten Legend of Zelda. I always had so much fun playing the game, but I never actually beat it. So that may be something I have to get on and try. Another just generic game, baseball, same as the pinball and pro wrestling. It was definitely a good time. The first baseball game ever put out on Nintendo, I believe, was like 1984, I want to say, or something like that. But good game. Another classic, Metroid. Pretty straightforward. It's the original. It's the one that started it all, Metroid. Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. This is the pre-steroid era, but yeah, Roger Clemens baseball. I remember having a good time. I read through this a couple of times. I used to keep seasons and stuff going on, but it was pretty fun. But it's baseball. Super C. If you watch my earlier videos of my top 10 NES games, this is the sequel to Contra. Definitely a great game, but nothing will ever beat the original Contra. So, but this is definitely a good game. It's definitely worth picking up at a flea market or anywhere else. 10-Yard Fight, one of the first, actually probably the first football game for Nintendo. Pretty much the same as baseball, pro wrestling, pinball. I had a lot of those generic games, but this was definitely a fun time. Classic Concentration. I don't know if you remember the game show. Originally it was in the 50s or something, but they remade it in the 80s with Alex Trebek, and they put it out on Nintendo, and it's a good time. It's it's just like a puzzle game, like a game show. Next one up is Tecmo Bowl, the original before Super Tecmo Bowl. This is the one that got everything started, and it's a good time. But if you're gonna play one of the Tecmo Bowls, definitely play Super Tecmo Bowl. It's definitely the better of the two, but this is definitely a good time as well. RC Pro-Am, one of my favorite games. I loved this game when I was a little kid. Remote control car racing, basically, if you've never heard of it before. It's just a racing game, pretty much straight up, but you're racing remote control cars, hence the RC. Growing up as a kid, I always loved Popeye, so I couldn't resist getting Popeye the video game. It's save olive oil, kind of very similar to Donkey Kong, but you're collecting hearts that olive oil throws in the air, and you have to collect all the hearts in order to beat the level, but it's a good time. It's Popeye, it's fun. This one I've never tried before. I got this off eBay actually, and I remember the original Dig Dug. This is Dig Dug 2, and I'm not sure I ever even heard of a Dig Dug 2, but I've never tried it yet. I'm still trying to fix my NES and get that working again. So once I do, this will definitely be popped in. I want to see what that's all about. Paperboy, everyone knows that game. It's Paperboy, where you ride your bike down the street, throw papers, hit stuff, break windows. It's a good time. Old school Excite Bike. I don't know if anyone who doesn't know this game, but yeah, Excite Bike for the NES, good times. I remember this game when I was a little kid, and I rented it a few times, but Spy Hunter. And I remember, I haven't played it in a long time, so I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but I remember you're driving a car and you have to like shoot other cars, and you have all these different things, like you can drop like oil slick out of the back of your car to get people off your tail, and it was really one of the first like games that you could do that kind of stuff on. So it was definitely innovative for its time. But Spy Hunter is definitely a good time. You should probably be able to pick that one up cheap. Bases Loaded 2, the second season. Again, I didn't get a lot of play out of this. I was such a huge fan of Bases Loaded 1 that I saw this at like, I think it was at GameStop or something for like, I don't know, $2 or something. So I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. What the hell? One of my favorites, it pisses me off that there's a sticker on it, but Arkanoid. I used to love playing this in the arcades all the time with like the little wheel, the little paddle that goes back and forth like across the bottom here, and the ball comes up and down. You have to break all the blocks. Mindless fun, kind of like Tetris in reverse. You're kind of hitting up rather than dropping down. But Arkanoid is definitely a good time. I spent a lot of quarters on that game. WrestleMania Challenge, just some old school fun. Again, stickers all over the place. I really hope I didn't pay $3.99 for this game. I got it so long ago, but I really hope I didn't pay $4 for this game. But yeah, old school fun. Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, the best wrestler ever right there. Bases Loaded 1, again, some stickers. I'm going to have to try to get some of this stuff off. But Bases Loaded 1, the prequel to Bases Loaded 2, obviously. Funhouse. I don't know if you remember this game show from early on in like in the 80s, like when a bunch of us were kids, but J.D. Roth actually hosted this show, and I'm not sure where I got this or why I got it, but it seemed like fun, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. It's another game. Lunar Pool. If you're a pool fan, this is pretty much the game for you. It's pool. It's pretty much it. It's fun. Pac-Man. Gotta go with the classics. I've been a huge Pac-Man fan since I was a little kid, and had to go with Pac-Man when I saw that on eBay. This is actually the Tengen version. Miss Pac-Man. It's that weird cart. But Tengen always put out those weird black cartridges. But Miss Pac-Man, again, gotta stay with the Pac-Man family. The originals, I love them. And nothing's better than a good game of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. But that's gonna do it for Volume 1. We still have those to go, so I'm gonna stop this. It's getting to be about 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to stop it for now, and I'll start up another video for Part 2 to finish out the collection.